Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 141 and today we are starting things off flying around the top of the base, just getting a nice view of the ocean base area. I like to do this every now and again, but we're actually not going to be working on the base at the start of today's episode. We're not going to be working underneath the base, we're not going to be working on the town area, and we're not going to be working on TNT land. We're actually going to be doing some work back over at the original spawn town, the spawn town area where everyone started off on Hermitcraft, and I've got my dirt hut and everything like that because, well, I was reminded on Twitter the other day that I have got a rather big, and I think it's safe to say, relatively ugly build currently in the spawn town area, which definitely goes against the vibe that Scar and everyone are trying to achieve with the central build in the middle right there. Let's go and take a look. Okay, let's pop through and take a look how this is, because I know that they've been working on it, so I think a lot of progress has been made, and whoa! Okay, oh! I just got a glimpse. Those two things, yeah, they really, I mean, that is like the definition of things not going well together. Oh man, okay, yeah. This is amazing though, this looks incredible. Oh, I so wish I could build like this. Look at all the detail. I'm actually going to land here so we can see, because just look at the shapes that are being created here. Now, I love making ruined looking builds, like cobblestone, andesite, is that andesite? I can never remember the name of that one, and stone and all that sort of thing. I love mixing all of those blocks together, but I cannot do it in a way that looks as good as this. I like to think that sometimes I step back from my builds and I go, yeah, I've done a good job there, that looks pretty cool, but then I see things like this, and it makes me feel, yeah, it makes me, I don't know, it just reminds me that there are people out there that are considerably better than me at this sort of thing. Anyway, that's enough admiration. Let's take out this thing. And you know what? I think it will do well in the form of a third-person time-lapse. So, in today's time-lapse chat, I thought I would quickly give you a bit of a Campervan update, because it has been ages since I've mentioned anything to do with the Campervan, and now that we're kind of coming through into the spring season in England, it's kind of, well, it's kind of becoming Campervan season, essentially. When it's winter time, you have all the salt and the grit on the roads, and all the roads are really wet. And even though I do occasionally drive it throughout the winter months, it's probably not the best thing to do, because campervans are very susceptible to rust. I mean, it's a 1970s campervan, so it's very susceptible to rust, and all that salt and grit just sticks to the bottom of it and just corrodes away all of the metal. So I try my best to avoid those sorts of situations, but now we're getting nice dry roads without any of the salt on them, so I'm going to be taking it out in the near future. We're going to be doing some trips and everything like that, and that means that I'm currently in the process of getting it prepared for this year, because for those of you who don't know, a campervan needs servicing every 3,000 miles, so full oil change. I'm going to be changing out all of the spark plugs, I'm going to be doing all of that sort of thing, and just all of the general maintenance, but also I'm planning on kind of doing it up a little bit on the inside, and this is something I'm really excited about, because I've been putting together some plans. Me and Vicky have actually been putting together some ideas for the different colours that we're going to be going for. We're going to be stripping out pretty much the entire interior and replacing it with something completely updated. So if you want to keep up with that, I'll probably be posting some stuff on Instagram, on Twitter, and maybe potentially something of it on the filming channel. I don't really know, but it's really, really exciting. So hopefully my little T2 should be getting a bit of an update for 2018. So there we go. This place is now fully cleared out, and I have to say the dirt hut kind of fits in quite nicely with this area here. It looks pretty good. Like, this is the guy that's been cast away from the kingdom. This is brilliant. Also, as a side note, I thought I'd quickly check in with the iron farm to see how that's been doing, because this is an iron farm right here. It was built in episode 3 of this season, and by the look of things, because people have been working over here so much, it's been doing pretty well. We have got a full double chest of iron down at the bottom of this thing, and also a ton of iron that is despawning on the top of this thing, and look, it's working right now. We're looking at it actually functioning. There's an iron golem that's being killed off. But yeah, there was some poppies and things like that on top of these hoppers. All of these hoppers are filled too. So I guess we've probably lost a decent quantity of iron here, just because we don't really have, I mean, this is the size of the storage system. We could have had loads of chests, and we probably could have had loads of iron. Anyway, let's pop back over to the base because we still have a ton of work to do. Now, I know I said in the previous episode of Hermitcraft that we were going to stop working over in the TNT land area. And I said that it was all completed, but it occurred to me just today that, you know what, I think this is one of those things that needs to be linked up to the nether hub, because even though, look, we can just about see the base from over there, it would be quite cool to have this actually fully linked in so that we can get to here nice and quickly. And I've got a really cool idea for a nether hub. Hilariously, my nether hub isn't actually big enough for this one, so we're going to need to create some form of tunnel taking us out to 88 by -215. That is a long way off. That's much further than I was expecting. All right, here goes. Are we going to actually end up in the right place? That's a big no. What? How have I gone so wrong? Think I might have found our problem. Yeah, I've messed around with the Y level of the portal in the nether. Was still coming out in the cave. Didn't think to check whether or not I'd actually lit the nether portal that I had in the overworld. This should now function absolutely fine. Let's just see, I mean, just to double check. Right, that's perfect. See, look, this portal is now way up in the sky. Okay, I'm going to destroy that one, bring it back down to this level, and then we can design this tunnel. So that's looking much better, and also the design for the tunnel is coming together. Now, it's a tiny bit different from the one that we have running from the actual main nether hub to our nether portal over there. It's a little bit different, but it still takes some design cues from it, and I think it looks pretty cool. We have the prismarine, we've got the sea lanterns. I like the fact that because all the way underneath this thing we've got lava, I've decided to have a slightly transparent floor so it reminds us they're actually in the nether. I think this looks quite cool. Not 100% certain on what we're going to do with the roof. I don't know if I like how dark that is. Might change it up or maybe put some sea lanterns above these blocks. But for now, I'm fairly happy with it. So let's construct it right the way up to this thing. And I gotta say, now that we've actually started stacking these on top of one another and I've added in the stone slabs just wrapping around like this, it actually looks pretty cool. This has ended up looking really, really good. So we have the glass through the bottom. Oh, I've also swapped out the roof, so we now have sea lanterns in the roof, and we just have 100% stone slabs going through the ceiling there because the cobblestone wasn't looking so great. So this is perfect. Okay, I need to work out how on earth I'm going to do a corner. I haven't worked that one out yet. And there we go. This thing is now all fully completed. So let's just try our best to maybe do something out the back here. I'm thinking maybe if we have some dark prismarine in a kind of square formation. I don't really know. Maybe some prismarine here. I'm thinking sea lantern in the middle. And then we have like a cross going up like this. And prismarine in each one of the corners. That could end up looking okay. And then we'll just drop through the ceiling and see what this looks like. Yeah, not too bad. That looks pretty cool. So this is the nether tunnel that takes us through into TNT land. Right, okay, now we actually have to build the nether hub that we're going to have in TNT land. So let's see if I can find this source of inspiration here. I'm fairly certain I have it somewhere in this redstone testing world. It's a build that I actually did on Hermitcraft. Is it season 3 or season 4? I feel like it might be season 4. Here it is, and it looks so much better than I remember. So, for those of you who don't know, this was my TNT shop for Hermitcraft Season 4, and actually, it looks like we have all of the redstone working. So there is the piston door that opened up and allowed you to get inside, and also a bit of TNT would be dropped out and explode in this water as you came in, and oh no, it was when you opened up the chest, it would explode. I wonder if that actually hurt people. It probably did. I never really tested that out. Anyway, we're not going to be building all of the internal mechanics. We're just going to be sticking with the exterior. So we need a whole bunch of red wool. That's no problem. White wool, that's easy. Black wool is easy as well. And then I think I'm actually going to go for black or red glass on the roof as well, because we have loads of red glass and it looks pretty cool here. Okay, let's get to it. Actually, I've been thinking, instead of using wool, which looks really good in my texture pack, but not very good in everyone else's texture pack, I think it's probably a better idea to go with concrete. So we're going to have red concrete, white concrete, and black concrete to make this TNT build. That is mildly terrifying. No way, a ghast has spawned up there, and its legs are just dangling through. That's the stuff of nightmares. Well, this thing is starting to look good already. I'm really glad that we chose to use concrete powder as opposed to using the wool. And I mean, I've only got one of these rockets left, and I'm using it to crash. But there we go. That definitely looks like a bottom of a TNT block. As the sun rises above my TNT block, I am filled with happiness. This is the perfect entrance. You know, I was happy with this place in the previous episode of Hermitcraft. I really was. And for me, it was finished. I was like, this is done. This is great. I'll just fly there every single time I want to use it. But now that I've set this up, that is so spot on. Okay, we still need to do the roof. And also, I need to work a little bit on the pathway too. I mean, just look at this place. Look at it. That is absolutely spot on. I'm actually going to take a screenshot there. Might even post it on Twitter because I'm proud of this spot. I'm really, really happy with how this has all come together. Wicked. That's all done. So we've got the roof in place. We've got a walkway in. It's just a tiny bit better than that cobblestone that we had there. Nothing too exciting. But this is actually... It might be my favorite place on the Hermitcraft server that I've built this season, just because I love the farms that we have here. They're TNT powered farms. That's awesome in itself. I quite like the decoration that we have going on, and I just like how everything has come together. I think it might be because this was a very impromptu project. I just kind of started it and I was like, oh, that'll be fun, let's do that. And I'm just really, really pleased with the end result. Anyway, I'm going to stop looking over here because we now need to move on to a project that probably isn't my favourite area of the Hermitcraft server because it's so unfinished. And it stresses me out because it's so unfinished. We need to do a little bit of work on the town. I mean, seriously. Now, what I'm thinking is, in this area right here, we're going to have our market zone. So, the way that it's going to work is we're going to kind of create a semi-paved area. So it's going to have some stone, it's going to have some gravel, maybe some path blocks that's going to weave in and out between all of the market stands, and then this entire space, probably coming up to around about this tree, is just going to be covered with market stalls, because it kind of makes sense. You know, you've got the fishing area, and then they'd instantly take their fish from this area into the market. At least I think that's how it works. I've never really fished before, and I don't go to that many markets. But despite this slight lack of experience, I have created the foundation for what this place is going to be like. Now, hopefully this actually looks good, because I've just spent a bunch of time plotting out the different plots and making sure that everything is in the correct place. So, yeah, that looks really cool, actually. Obviously, it's a big mob spawn zone at this point in time, but if we just kill off this spider here and then loop this path down and around, I think we could have ourselves quite a nice looking spot. So let's see here. If we place in those blocks, this should give us an idea of what all of our market stands are going to look like. And that actually looks quite cool. Yes, we've got the bright colours, but it kind of matches in with the other things going on in the area. And if we fly up to the top, let's see how it looks from above. Not too bad. Okay, yeah, let's just get a bunch of them in and around this place. Yeah, it's looking cool. Maybe they're a little bit too close together, maybe. I might actually start mixing up some of the sizes of them, so maybe make this one a tiny bit smaller. That might be an idea. I do like it though. I like the different colours that we have going on. Okay, so I've torn some of them down and I've rebuilt some areas. I've done some redesigning of the actual plots and I've tried my best to come up with a slightly new design for the markets. And we now have these two bigger ones in there as well. And that is looking a little bit better. This is one of those things that I expected this to be really easy and I just built. I mean, look at them. They're not exactly difficult structures to make, but it's given me a big headache because I'm trying to make them look as good as possible. I think this is good. Maybe a little one there, a baby little one there, and then one down at the bottom. What I'll do is I'll get all of the market stands in and then we can work out what to do. I have to say, I'm just flying in to finish up the final market stall that we have right here. We just about ran out of white concrete. And flying in from that angle, it looks super cool. It really has brightened up the town because the town was looking, yeah, a tiny bit on the dark side. Now it's looking really nice. I like this a lot. This looks great. This looks really, really good. I mean, it's a simple little market, but it looks really happy and really bright and really vibrant. I think what we can do is we can add in maybe a handful of like lampposts and things like that. and maybe a handful of trees and plants, like box plants in and around this area. But no, this looks brilliant. Okay, so that's that. And then 1, 2, 3. And I would say that is a good spot for our last lamppost in the center here. Now you can see that I've added in some stone details in and around the place. I've bone mealed the area as well. And I've cleaned up some of our pathways too. So now we should have a more completed looking zone. And that definitely does the trick. Yep. Okay, that's the ticket. So there we go. We have a little market area that we have in the center here with all the different market stands. Now, one thing that I want you guys to do, which is where you guys are going to come into this, is I want you to let me know down in the comment section what you want these market stands to be selling. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 market stands in total. So there should be 7 different things that these guys are going to be selling. I'll put up all of the item frames and I'll try my best to make each one of these stalls look like one of those stalls. And I just can't wait to see your responses. I mean, I'm sure I'll do like a mix of all of the comments, but I'm excited to read through all of those. Ooh, that's not good. What's happened there? How very strange. This is extra specially strange. Apparently Hermitcraft's got old. What does that mean? Right, so I managed to get myself back on the server, and by the look of this, is this a... I think this was one of the clues for False Symmetry's Hermit Hunt. And it's right on the boat, which is pretty cool. But anyway, if we just pop inside here, I wanted to discuss with you a plan for a future project. And this is a project that I'm actually going to be taking on probably in the next episode of Hermitcraft. But I thought I'd run you through the plans because also you guys are great with ideas for this one. So what I want to do, because I keep dying on the Hermitcraft server, I want to create a quick revive system. So we can have like an emergency exit to this place that drops us out the bottom of the boat. It gets us fully equipped with all the gear that we need, like Elytra. It gets us a full new set of armor, or at least a temporary set of armor, and also all of the tools, some food, some firework rockets, and everything like that. And then it shoots us up to the surface of the water, so we can head straight off and get our stuff back, essentially. Now, I wanted to know your ideas for this, what you think I should do with it. I was kind of thinking, and I really like this idea, I was thinking some form of flying machine, so we get lifted up by a flying machine through the water, and then we can jump off it and fly off from there. But you guys might have some better ideas. Maybe animal launchers, TNT launchers, maybe, although that might just kill us again. So maybe that's not the best idea. But you guys are super creative. So as I say, let me know down in the comment section for that one. Anyway, that's enough redstone talk for now, because otherwise I'll get carried away and I'll stop building in the town and start building redstone contraptions. What I want to do next is I want to build some form of boat. And I am terrified. I am so scared to build this thing because, I mean, boats are like, they're super difficult. I can't even think of what a boat looks like at this point in time. I kind of want it to be, not obviously like a speedboat or anything like that. I want it to have some form of sails. A set of sails, I suppose. And I don't know. So, I did a little bit of research online for small Minecraft boats, and I have got at least a blueprint to work from. So this is the base of it, and let's see how it looks in the scale of our build here. Oh, that's nice. Obviously, we still need to build, like, the sails and things like that, but that actually looks really, really good. We could maybe build another one of them kind of off over here. Well, I was going to do the standard fly pass, but my elytra have just broken. So let's see how the boat looks from the ground, and the answer is not that good. And now that my elytra are all repaired, it looks just as bad from the sky. I copied the sail design that I saw online, and it had these little bits down at the bottom, but I don't think they look quite so good. So if we add maybe some fence posts in here, as if it's been ratcheted down, and maybe even a handful of extra bits on the front. Maybe something like this. And then a post up there. I mean, as I say, I don't really know what a boat looks like, to be honest. I'm really struggling here. Now, there we go. That's it. That looks great to me. It's a tiny little boat. I just wanted a small little boat to be in this harbour area. and I really do think it's actually tied the space together. Now, obviously, I remember when I actually built this thing, people were saying that it is a little bit too all over the place. And I'm kind of inclined to agree. I think that might be something that I work on at some point, but I still absolutely love this area. This is awesome. I'm really, really glad that we worked on this space. And I like the boat. I think the boat looks good. So I think that just about wraps everything up for today's Hermitcraft episode. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please sure to that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.